Hi, I'm Mallory Brooke, makeup artist and content creator here on YouTube, and I'm feeling very wintry with this side part. But today, we are talking about all of the makeup and some really high-priced products that just aren't worth the money and the things that I have returned recently. Let's get into kind of like unfavorites, what we used to call this de-influencing, or is anybody calling it that anymore? I really think it's important to highlight what we have returned, what we did not like. I love a favorites video because I get excited to talk about everything that I love and why I love it and why I think you'll love it too, and it's just like, woo! But then there's some things that are just like, where did this go wrong? Let's discuss. So I did go a little bit crazy during the Sephora VIB sale, the savings event recently, okay? I purchased some things like right before the sale, during the sale, right at the tail end of the sale, and these are the items that I returned not only from the sale, but a couple of things that I got that were not from the sale. The very first thing I want to discuss is probably the highest price item out of the whole haul, and that is the Shark Flex Style. There are so many reasons why I returned this, but I did a full review, and I mean a basically scientific breakdown of like why you should not purchase this. And if you are enjoying your Shark Flex Style now, like as someone who has purchased it, I'm glad that you are, but there are some things that you need to know. Please wash the actual attachments because of the faux boar bristle hairs that are in there. It's different when you're, using a brush, when you are giving yourself a blowout and there's heat on the brush and then there's hair product, and a lot of us are guilty of not washing our hairbrushes a lot. But when you have an actual hot tool with a brush attachment with faux boar bristle brushes and heat is coming out through that plus hair product, you're going to end up with very damaged hair over time. It may not be the first time you use it, but it will be after a long-term use. I just really did not like the Shark Flex Style. I will let you guys watch that entire review. It's very informative, it's not boring, and there's a lot of things you need to know before you purchase it. Or if you're trying to make a decision between the Dyson Airwrap and the Shark Flex Style, I break it down point by point, and it's not just because I have a favorite, it's because I'm like actually concerned for people who are using the Shark Flex Style. I also purchased the smoothing attachment, and I went ahead and returned that as well. I didn't even open it because I disliked the Shark Flex Style so much. I was like, there's no point in like trying this again to make it work and damaging my hair further. So I didn't even open this attachment. So it all went back like immediately after I filmed my review. I had a lot of high hopes. I wanted to love it, but it's not a good tool. And it's the same manufacturer that makes them as a lot of knockoff brands. So there's just some things that you should know before you make a $300 purchase. And technically I spent $330 because I bought the extra attachment for smoothing. Next, I returned the Tom Ford Myr Mystery, whatever. I love Tom Ford fragrances. I've been wearing Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille for over 10 years and repurchasing it. It is just one of my absolute favorites. I also love a lot of other Tom Ford fragrances like Black Orchid and things like that. Anyway, so I returned Myr Mystery because it smelled and settled on me, not just like bottle to bottle, but after I sprayed it on, it settled exactly like Replica's Autumn Vibes, and I already own Autumn Vibes, and honestly, it's not one of my favorite fragrances. It is a little astringent. When I first started using Autumn Vibes, I was like, this is really good. It really does give you autumn vibes. It makes you smell like the fall, but over time, I felt like it was just like a little bit astringent, and so was Tom Ford's Myr fragrance. I already own Replica, so I couldn't justify the $225 purchase, even with 20% off. So she went back, but if you don't own Replica's Autumn Vibes, they do smell exactly alike, but Tom Ford fragrances do have the lasting power of like, I don't know. Like, it's insane. Like, when you wake up, you still smell the essence of the Tom Ford fragrances. Replica, I also love. You smell it more on your clothes, but like Tom Ford, I feel like could last you 2 days, and one spritz will equal like 2 spritzes of Replica's Autumn Vibes. So that's the difference in the two, and they're both very high priced. So, but both smell exactly the same. The next product that I returned, and it's not because it was a bad product, it just settled to pink on me, and that is Hourglass's Ambient Blush in at night. Now I hauled this because I recently, before the sale, purchased the Hourglass Jellyfish palette, and I had not purchased any of Hourglass's powders or blushes. I haven't purchased the powders since I was in my 20s, and then the blushes I had not purchased at all. But I was so impressed with the Jellyfish palette that I wanted to purchase a single blush. So I did, and I got At Night because I thought it would be like a really beautiful brick red. And I love when I am this pale to wear like a more red blush. Right now I'm wearing the Jellyfish palette. And also everything I mentioned will be in the info box below and linked below, because not everything is terrible. It's just things I returned. So I will have it all listed in order of mention. And yes, they are affiliate links. Thank you if you decide to shop through my links. It helps support this channel and all that stuff, all that good stuff. So thank you, I appreciate it. But yeah, it'll all be linked below. But At Night, because I am more yellow undertoned, settled pink on me, and I will link my Sephora Sale haul video below as well, so you can see that in action, because I did try everything on. I don't like to just haul things. I like to show you what they look like and show you how they perform. So through the entire Sephora haul, I show you the products in action, and At Night just settled to pink on me, and I was so sad, and a lot of you were like, oh my gosh, it's totally brick red on me. If you have pink undertones and you're looking for a brick red blush, girl, At Night would definitely be beautiful on you. Next is something that I actually don't know where it's at currently. I haven't returned it yet because I have to drive to Little Rock, which is a little bit over an hour to return, because I purchased this during the sale at the tail end of the sale. And it was the Haus Labs Triclone Foundation to do a review. So my review is already up, so I will let you guys go watch that in the info below. I'm not gonna get too boring, but it just looked really bad on me, really bad on me. I don't know what the heck, but a lot of you were like, if you have dry skin, you are gonna love the Haus Labs Triclone. I don't know if maybe my skin is just so extra dry right now from Imuran or immune suppressants, you know, the low dose chemo that I've started, but my skin is like already dry. But that foundation did absolutely nothing for me with a brush or a sponge. I could not get it to work. It aged me. It gathered around all of my dry patches. I just couldn't get it to work for me. So I have to drive to Little Rock to return that. The next item that I ended up returning, not because it wasn't a good shade for me, but because it just wasn't a good product. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sun Idol highlighter. I purchased that during the sale because I wanted the Tom Ford Soleil Neige, whatever, the limited edition one. And a lot of you talked me out of it. You were like, girl, don't get that. It is so stiff. It does not look good. So I went for the cheaper option, which is still not cheap. It was $38. The Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter is $38. It like almost enhanced my pores and like looked like the finish on it was almost satin. It gave me absolutely nothing. I don't understand why. I did not like it. And then I read the comments and a lot of you also got it and also returned it. I don't like it, but let me know if you tried it and you did like it. I was really hoping that it would be like a good version close to our beloved Amrezi highlighter, and it just wasn't. It gave me nothing. If anything, I feel like it made my skin look dull. So she went back, and it is $38 that I am happy to have back in my bank account. Okay, the next thing that was just a big fail was the Dior Backstage palette in Glitz. Now, here's the thing. I had a lot of comments that were like, well, duh, like Glitz is like the bad one, and then like the other one, I don't remember the name of it, the other one, the pinky one, is like beautiful and that's why everyone loves it. But I'm so yellow undertoned, I really needed to get something with the undertones of Glitz. So I was hoping that it would be the same formula and beautiful. I understand that it had more visible shimmer in it than the original face palette, but I'm fine with that. Visible shimmer, as long as it looks decent and like makes sense for the makeup itself and makes sense for the product itself, I'm all about. But this was just like, it's something I would expect from like Wet n Wild. I was like, this is kind of dry. I liked the bronzer a little bit. The undertones would have been perfect if the palette actually performed well. I don't want the other face palette because it's just too pinky for me, and pinks like that, like a face palette like that, can turn ashy on yellow undertone skin. So I'm staying away. I wish I could, enjoy the original face palette, but I cannot because of the undertones. And I don't know why they didn't make the other palette in Glitz just as beautiful. I don't understand. Please give us yellow undertone skin girls a face palette, Dior, because we want it. Okay, this is not something that I purchased from the sale, but I will link my review below. I returned mid-review. If you guys saw this review, I returned this product mid-review. It is the Rim Beauty foundation and concealer and the foundation brush. They were so terrible. All three items were just like, I don't know. It was like I got some off-brand makeup from Big Lots and put it on my face. It just looked like almost like stage makeup, where it's like it doesn't need to make you look blurred and beautiful. It needs to be like caked on, you know, for lights and things, like play stage makeup. Anyway, it aged my skin. Hopefully it didn't like technically age my skin, but it aged me a good 10 years. And if you guys saw that review, you know what I'm talking about. It looked so bad, especially in natural lighting, because every foundation review that I do, I take you out in natural lighting, out of studio lighting, so you can see what it looks like in real life, because no one carries around 3, 4, 5, 6 studio lights with them in their everyday life. You're just not gonna look this evenly lit, you know, in real life. You're gonna have shadows, and oh, it was so bad. The concealer was like putting wet concrete underneath my lash line and my dark circles. And then the foundation brush, what? It was like, what? This should be $1.50. Like, I don't understand. It was terrible. Wow, it was so bad. It's supposed to be for all skin types, but apparently it's better for oily skin. So let us know in the comments if you ended up liking the REM Beauty foundation and concealer. I don't like anything from the brand, to be honest. It all looks cheap and feels dusty to me, and that's unfortunate. Well, that wraps up all the negativity today. No, it's not negative. I think it's important to also talk about what we don't like and what doesn't work for us, and what also possibly wouldn't work for you, because if I'm not recommending it, or I don't like it for myself, I'm not going to recommend it to you, because I don't want you feeling or looking the way I did when I use certain products. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, no, this is what I do. I'm going to let you know if something's terrible, and all of these items either didn't work for me or were terrible. Let us know in the comments if you've tried any of them, what you liked that maybe I hated, and tell us why. And give this video a thumbs up if you would like to see more of what I've returned over time and what I ended up not liking. And subscribe if you haven't already. We would love to have you in this beautiful, wonderful, positive, yet unfiltered and honest, because I know that this isn't necessarily the most positive video, but what's positive is there's even better products out there. So subscribe. We'd love to have you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.
All right.